In binary, this movie would be called Face Zero, which is the score my face gives it. 0. This is Face Off on Stinker Madness.
What's that smell?
I don't know about you, but I'm thirsty as fuck. Thirsty as fuck.
Hey, look at these!
Thrill me.
If you come back in here, I'm gonna hit you with so many rights, you're gonna beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Hey, look at these!
No more hangers!
It stinks.
Hangers!
Get to the chopper! Stinker Madness.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness. This is a podcast about bad movies by bad movie lovers for bad movie lovers. I'm your host, Justin. With me as always, Sam and Jackie.
Sold!
Yeah! Face Off, or Face Zero isn't actually binary.
Face Zero isn't anything.
Yeah.
Neither is Sold.
Yeah,
You have to go by the Cutthroat Island rules. $1 to end bidding.
Yeah, right. Face Off, currently streaming on Starz, starring Nicolas Cage, John Travolta. Who else we got in this? It's pretty much just them. Like, it's a lot of them.
Yeah, it's mostly them.
Okay.
CCH Pounder.
Yeah, all right. From 1997, is that correct, Sam?
Yes.
What do you have to tell us about this film before we start for your boring bullshit?
Well, just mostly that the sort of the majesty of it visually is that the what John Woo is known for is something that he himself thinks is basically mental masturbation. He did it originally just as like a fuck you movie system. This is what you really want. And then everyone that saw it was like, yes, it is. Yes, please.
It's kind of like James Cameron apologizing for Titanic and then getting praise. And he's like, oh, yeah, I did that.
Only John Woo has never been like, thank you. He's a very mysterious guy. And the only reason I know that is that I have a copy of Appleseed Ex Machina on DVD that he was the producer for, and in the special features he talked about like bullet time and gun fu, because the guy's like, you're so influential, oh my god, and he's just kissing his butt and he's like, well, I did that because you're retarded and so is everybody else that watches movies. So maybe one day he's going to make a movie the way he wants, but I don't know. The irony of this film is that it was a silent production. It does say like a Douglas so-and-so production, but Michael Douglas doesn't put his name directly on the film.
Michael Douglas?
The Michael Douglas.
Kirk Douglas Loins?
Yes, that guy.
Right? All right.
A Ghost in the Darkness.
Hey, which reminds me, you're wrong, idiot.
We're about to be... I was going to say we're wrong idiots.
No, you're wrong, idiot. You're the
Sure.
one that said it last week that this was a Jerry Bruckheimer film.
You guys all agreed with me.
Well, because we don't do the boring bullshit, Sam. We're just morons that watch John Woo movies and
piling
say,
on is what
hey,
you're
that
doing.
looks cool, man.
So
I'm just saying I had no idea, so, I'm
Yeah.
out of that one.
Eat shit,
You're a one-man pile-on. that's what-
Breitbart.
Well, whatever. Yeah, I should be on Fox News. No, it has nothing to do with... in fact, this was the answer to... This is against Con Air directly. So my last film that was chosen was Con Air. This is in the theaters against it, basically.
Yeah.
And so it does have nothing to do with Bruckheimer.
What's the numbers on it? You got those?
I do. $80 million is the budget, and it made $112 domestically.
Yeah. It was pretty successful.
Which, in 97, that's super successful, right?
And don't forget that that's right on the cusp of the DVD market exploding as well. So I'm sure that this made a fuck ton in DVD sales.
This is when there's a blockbuster on every corner. So in reality, movies were still making 20 to 40 million,
Right.
just in initial VHS sales.
But right in that region though, they were making like twice what they were making 2 years before.
Oh, absolutely.
So I wouldn't be surprised if this thing made 100 million just on DVD sales.
And
everybody had a copy.
It had worldwide numbers above 200,
Yeah.
and those may have only been Canadian and Mexican numbers as well, because you don't know how. I guess you'd think that Hong Kong would be involved because of John Woo, but this thing did very well.
Yeah, it was a big deal. I want to talk about the two principals, and I'm going to go to you here in a second, Jackie. But first, I want to ask a question. John Travolta gets top billing in this film.
Absolutely.
Do you think that John Travolta got more screen time in this film?
I think so.
You do? Okay. Sam, your initial
I thought that it was pretty down the middle. I know from reading about it that, and this isn't even in the blog, Nick Cage said no
Okay.
originally, and then he found out that because he was like, I'm not going to play a bad guy, probably knowing that all of his bullshit would have had him landed as a bad guy for the rest of his career. But when he found out that he was the bad guy that's the good guy for most of the film, he ended up changing his mind.
Okay, well, we'll see. Let's we don't have a runtime count on each of their individual screen times, but let's just wait. By the time we get through this thing, let's re-ask that question and see if our opinions have changed. But Jackie, let's talk about Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage in Face Off. How cagey is the cage?
Do I get a scale?
Yeah, 1 to 10 is your cage scale. On the Cage-o-meter,
Oh, he's at a 7.
he's 7, really? Okay, all right. Where was he at Vampire's Kiss? I don't think we asked.
I don't know, like 5.
What?
What's the most cagiest you've ever seen then? Because maybe you're the wrong person to ask.
Yeah.
I think I might be.
I appreciate your honesty.
The most cagiest was in when he was in Dune. I'm sorry, that's Brad Dourif.
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought he was pretty goddamn cagey in this film.
I am giving him a 9.5. I think that there's a cagier performance out there, but I don't know that I've seen it.
I would say Wicker Man and Vampire's Kiss are the two cagiest that you can have, and this is nigh close.
Oh, yeah.
He was about an 8 in Snake Eyes that we just watched, but this is way
It's
up.
right up there. I don't even know if it's not right with him because the when he's dressed up as the priest, that shit's ridiculous.
Oh, he's spinning around in a circle being like, woo,
And then-
I'm evil.
And then whenever he's having problems coming to grips with wearing the wrong face, it's just as bad as anything he's ever done.
Yeah. All right, this is a long movie. It's 2 hours and 18 minutes, so we should probably get into it so we don't have a 2 hour and 18-minute episode. So we're probably going to have to skip some parts of this. If we skip your favorite part of this movie or something you want to discuss, hey, don't hesitate to tell us about it. Go to our Facebook page or our Twitter account at /StinkerMadness or email us at talkatstinkermadness.com and tell us, and we will talk about it on the air with you.
Yep, we'll go, oh, we are the stupids.
Metaphysically, you will be in the room with us in spirit science. No. Okay. So John Travolta, let's talk about his character. He plays a guy named Archer, and he's a what? What is
He's
Archer?
the FBI director of counterterrorism?
Yeah, super secret society of police.
Okay.
So secret that nobody gives a fuck about them.
We should disclaim that this film is 1997, so the entire structure of counterterrorism and counterintelligence is basically watching out for the Russians. None of the I mean, barely Islam terrorists, those people are on the map at this point. It's pre 9/11, so things are a little bit different than they were now, right?
Yeah, it's as the Berlin Walls come down, like world peace. I remember when we were graduating high school right around there, it's like, why join the army? Like, why not join the army? There's never going to be another war again.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah, ever. So he's got a family. He's got a little boy, probably 5 or 6 years old, and they're playing on a carousel. They love each other. And throughout the film, this movie could have not just been called Face Zero. It could have been Face On and Face Off.
Yes.
Because this family has an obsession with touching each other's faces.
Running their hands, their fingers down somebody's face from the forehead to the chin.
Making sure their face is on.
Is that you? I have to test. Hold still.
Yep, it's still on. It's on tight.
They do it so much that by the end of this film, you're sitting there going, stop it. Just quit it with the faces.
And with, listening to some of the John Woo commentaries here and there, it's like, is he peeing on my eyes on purpose? Is he telling me I'm stupid with this? And it becomes kind of funny because it's so overblown how many times there's like 130 different instances of face on.
It's incredible. There's more face on than face off.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, insane. So Nick Cage is there, and he plays a bad guy named Castor Troy. And we should, before we get too far, he's also got a brother named Pollux, Castor and Pollux.
Yeah.
From Troy.
No, I'll just...
Come on, dude. What's up with that?
Okay, so his daughter's name is like something about Sagittarius.
Okay.
So basically, when they originally wrote the
Who?
screenplay...
Cage's?
Yeah, no,
John Woo's?
Travolta's.
Oh.
So basically, they are, in terms of astronomy, polar opposites. And only so much of that, like, you have to really pay attention to the dialogue of the movie. That remains in there, but that's what they're going for, is that Castor and Pollux are part of Gemini, and whatever his daughter's name and something else are part of Sagittarius.
Which is an Archer, right?
Yes, Archer is a...
Yeah.
And so they're...
Why wasn't he Paris?
I don't know.
You know, like he could be Paris Agamemnon or something.
Well, Paris, I think, would have been too far-reaching or something. That's why they had to do something with Sagittarius.
Tom Paris from classic television,
Only
Star
with-
Trek.
You can't do it without Henry Kim. But yeah, they're supposed to be astronomical or astrological, because that's totally different.
Okay.
Astrologically opposite.
Huh.
I did not get that
I
at
didn't
all.
get it.
I had to read about it. I
Yeah.
didn't get it watching it.
I feel achieved that I picked up on the Castor and Pollux Troy, but
Sure.
I just now put together the Archer thing that's kind of related. So, okay. So he's lining up a sniper shot. He's going to take out Archer, shoot him in the body or wherever, and he does so, but the bullet goes through Archer's chest and into the little boy's face,
Yeah, or wherever.
or he's
He doesn't
into
make it.
dead spot.
Yep.
The spot you get dead from. So that's a bummer for Archer. 6 years later, he's working, and he's like, "We got to find out what the sitch is." And they don't even know what the sitch are. They just, is their job at this point just looking for Castor? Troy?
Well, he works for the FBI.
Right.
But you'd think that it was actually Nick Cage that worked for the FBI, because he was aiming for the dad and shot the kid.
Oh.
Too soon.
Ruby Ridge, hashtag look it up.
Not funny.
Well, I threw out a Ruby Ridge reference today on Twitter, so
Why not?
yeah, why not? How soon they forget. So Castor is planning this bomb, and he's dressed as a priest, and it's like a mega bomb. It's like,
It has to have poison in it or something. It's a goofball bomb, right?
right,
It's going to take out the whole LA area.
the entire LA area.
Yeah. Big deal.
And,
For 10 mil. That's what they're doing it for, too.
and he's planting it in a cathedral or what?
It's in the LA Convention Center.
Yes.
Which is where the Jesus people sing hallelujah.
That might have been a high school choir.
They're practicing for a big deal.
Okay.
Anything can happen at the convention
Then why is he dressed as a priest?
Because the
Who's going to stop a priest?
exactly.
Father, why do you have all these things? This is a bunch of Bibles and holy water. Go fuck yourself. Now get out of the way.
Let's say the Catholics are having a convention at the LA Convention Center that weekend. He just sort of sneaks in on just wearing the robe. Nobody's going to ask any questions.
Oh, again, the safety and security and the unlimited civil liberties we experienced as a country in 1997.
Yeah.
The good old days when you could smoke in a movie theater and take your laptop on an airplane and terrorists weren't sticking bombs up your dog's butt. Freedom.
And a butt grab just means you're pretty toots.
Yeah. Doesn't matter how old you are.
It's not 17 to 20 years in jail like it is now.
He molests a small child.
She's probably 14 or 15. But
It's
yeah.
not comfortable.
No, it's uncomfortable. There's a number of uncomfortable things with, like, how old is she?
And she at no point, he's like, he says something naughty like, I always thought that Hallelujah was full of bullshit song. I prefer more like songs about fucking. You want to go fuck?
Yeah, basically.
And she's just standing there like, well, if you're a priest, I guess everything's okay.
And they don't stop practicing the
No.
chorus. And he grabs her butt, and nobody says, hey.
Stop that, priest man, in
Or
public with hundreds of
It's
people looking at us.
Catholic, so hey, don't do that outside. We all know what happens inside now.
Okay. So he gets to the runway, his escape runway, where he's got a plane waiting and his brother's there. And I guess some guys that are on his team or something. And he gets on the plane, but there's a flight attendant on there. And he's like, come here, baby, flight servicer for me. I can eat a peach for hours.
All day.
All
yeah,
day.
maybe it is for hours. I think
That's
you're
his
right.
pickup line of like, I mean, he threw some like pretty hardcore non-innuendo to this teenage girl, but to her, I can eat a peach for hours. Great.
Yep. It's yucky.
That's fantastic.
Wait, I
Because-
changed my mind. You can go ahead and just suck my tongue.
Yeah, suck my tongue. None of that is hot shit.
I didn't watch this until it had been out for over 3 or 4 years after it had been on video.
Uh-huh.
And I had dated a girl who was all into the tongue sucking. And when I watched this movie, I was like, because she was the one that told me, you should watch Face Off. And I
get
watched it and that
some
happened.
tips.
And it was like, it just took 2 days, but I broke up with her.
She was trying to send you a message like, not enough tongue sucking, Sam. Go see Face Off.
Go see Face Off.
It's
I'm like,
hot.
yeah, this is pretty hot. So anyway, I'm just going to kind of do my own thing.
Jackie, is tongue sucking hot?
No.
No, okay. I think we all
That's
have
so
an accord.
gross. And you know what? Nobody wants their peach eaten for hours.
Well, the innuendo he's implying is that he would go down on her for hours.
Which at the same time, she should be like, yeah, I know 3 guys that can get it done in about 4 minutes, buddy.
Well, if that's what he's implying, why wouldn't he say, I can lick on a peach for hours, not eat a peach? Because that implies chomping
Yeah.
and swallowing.
Why doesn't he just like brush off his face and be like, I saved you a seat?
that would have been a much better pickup line.
This one's first class, toots. Hey, babe.
Hey, babe, always works.
Yeah. Mile high mustache rides for free.
Oh no, the cops are inbound.
Oh.
And it's John Travolta as Archer. He's in full on gonna get you mode.
Oh, yeah.
He's got gonna get your face on.
And Humvees are still a thing, I guess, because he's got one of those.
I just unintentionally said face on. This
yeah.
movie, it just does it to you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna start touching my own
Face
face.
off, face on.
Yeah.
Well, they're about to face off.
Right. First time face off.
Sure.
But before that, the flight attendant, she's an FBI lady. And she's like, freeze, motherfucker. She's spitting out his peach tongue. Gross.
We should also mention that before he gets in the plane, he blazes a doob.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And through this whole sequence, before he's able to really do anything about putting this thing down, he gets through 3/4 of a joint by himself.
Yeah.
So in reality, during this whole scene, he would just be sitting in the chair,
It's fucking
staring out the window, not having any idea what's happening.
I think I told that lady to suck my tongue.
What did I tell her? Was it icky?
I'm tripping.
What? Oh, who are you? Are we getting arrested? This is harshing my groove.
Hey, Archer, suck my tongue. It's just my thing when I'm high. Well, Archer outside is playing chicken with the airplane. And
Oh, yeah.
it swerves all over the place. He swerves, and Cage is like hanging the FBI lady out the side of the plane. He's like, hey, is this one of yours? Blam, blam, blam. Tosses her to her death. Or she
Shoots her in the back of the head.
Oh, so she was already quite dead.
She
Yeah.
executed her and then tossed her. And this, I think, becomes my favorite part of the movie. Because not the execution of the lady, but like after he does it, he just does this like, what are you gonna do? He's just like, uh-oh, whoopsie.
I slipped.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the dummy work here. This is one of those rare occurrences where we have a good dummy on Stinker Madness. That looked pretty damn fucking...
It's 2 shots. It isn't
Not
to say
happy.
it's a John Woo movie. There's 2 shots. He worked for both Shaw Brothers and Raymond Chow. It isn't to say that this plane's probably being towed
Sure.
by a semi, and there's a mattress there was probably no dummy. Because there's 2 shots. It was probably stuntman in both shots.
All right. Well, it's a good shot either way.
Yeah.
I mean, I have seen on this podcast somebody fall out of a plane before, and it did not look good.
Oh, absolutely not.
Shout out to you, Delta Force.
Oh, yeah. We've seen some falls on this program that they didn't even really get the whole mannequin. They just put a head on a suit, clothespinned the rest of the thing together, put some shoes and some gloves on it, and be like, oh no, they're falling to their death.
So Archer gets in a chopper, and the plane's trying to take off, and he's like, stop it. So he's putting the helicopter down on the plane's wing, and the plane can't take off from, because it can't get its flaps up or forced. I don't know. Physics.
Badunts.
What?
Badunts.
But dunce.
Couldn't get his flaps up.
Suck my tongue. So he shoots out the plane's engine to stop him.
Oh, yeah.
And
With the pistol.
Cage is like, hey, screw you, pilot. Blam, bam, shoots the pilot, which doesn't work out for him because he just tries to take over the plane and crashes it straight into a hangar.
Why not?
Yeah. I don't think you shoot the pilot ever.
That's because he's stoned.
Oh, yeah, right.
This is when he finally puts his joint down. Like, I mean, 'cause it shows the joint in his hand while he's steering the plane with the other hand. Like, that's how unserious this whole action sequence is to Castor Troy.
Right.
Is that he hasn't even been threatened enough to put his joint down.
Inside the hangar is a big shootout. I'm not going to go into heavy detail. It ends with Pollux getting arrested and Castor slipping away. Anything
The
you guys
jet
wanna cover?
engine bullshit is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, he gets thrown through the air by
The convenience of jet
aftermath.
engine. Like, there's just a hand on, like, a control panel that shuts this thing off periodically. Like, time and space mean nothing to this sequence.
It's pretty funny when Cage goes flying, though.
It is.
Yeah. That results in him being dead. Everybody thinks he's dead.
Dead, yeah.
Yeah.
Which should have. It's a fucking jet engine.
Jackie, did you think he was dead?
Well, yeah. I mean, if the impact doesn't kill you from that, I'm pretty sure that your lungs get burnt to a crisp.
Didn't you guys go to the eve of destruction and see what happened to that car when they put it behind a jet engine?
Yeah, it was sweet.
Thing fucking melted.
Yeah.
But he's gonna make it?
Right.
Yeah.
So in the context of the movie, did you think he was dead?
No, I just thought he was passed out.
Right.
And they were going to handcuff him and take him in.
It's kind of dumb. I'm just going to throw this movie under the bus a little bit.
Sure.
Not very much, but right for this, because you know he's not dead as the movie audience. Everybody in the film, oh, he's dead. Yeah, we won, but you as the movie audience is going, he's not dead. Otherwise, the movie's over. That's fucking retarded. I just don't like it when writers do that. But
Sure.
okay. So Archer's back at home. He's having fun. He's like your cliche dad, but he's also got a cliche teenage daughter who hates him, but he's like, oh, I'm just a dad.
How about the casting of Joan Allen,
Who's Joan Allen?
his wife? What do you think, Jackie?
Oh.
Not sexy.
Exactly.
But, well, I guess Travolta's got a lady following, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's weird because she's the object of the male gaze for the entire film.
Right.
And you're like, really?
She looks like a nervous bird.
I've been watching a lot of congressional debates lately.
Sure.
Things are happening. And there's lots of members of the intelligence coming on to the TV and talking about important things. And despite her not being the hottest cast that could be possibly made, I think she's spot on for a counterintelligence wife. She strikes me as James Comey's missus.
She's not hot for a movie star, but she's fucking smoking for a senator.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, really. So I don't have a problem with it.
It's very real. Like, in real life, I'd be like, wow, Travolta's doing okay for himself. Because honestly, this guy, Jackie, is he the handsome?
Travolta?
Yeah.
At this point in 1997.
No,
Was
I never
he
thought.
ever?
I never thought
Yeah,
either
man,
one
the
of these
ladies
two
loved
were.
Saturday Night Fever.
Because his
Travolta.
They loved
bulge.
Grease too,
Yeah.
which was
And Rick Fella DePino, or what was his name? Jackie Delapino?
Delpino.
Yeah. I don't even know. Whoa.
yeah, John Travolta and Nicolas Cage. Neither one of them have ever been attracted to me.
Neither of them have been attracted to you?
To me,
Oh, right. Neither of them have been attracted to you.
they both love me, Justin. I just don't want to hurt your feelings. I've told you this.
All right.
I dated Cage for like 2 weeks. It wasn't that big of a deal.
All right, man. Get him to sign Sam's pillow. You have a Cage face pillow.
I
You
don't
face.
have.
Oh, what happened to your
no.
Cage face pillow?
I didn't get it. Bert got it.
Oh, god damn it. Bird has a face off face
On
pillow. that he
face
puts
on
his
pillow.
Face on.
I guess we could put a photo of me and the face pillow on the
Yeah, we should do
website.
that. We
I've
should
got
do
a
that for this
few of
episode.
those. Okay.
Back at work, though, he's found a zip drive on Castor, an actual zip drive.
Real I Omega zip drive.
Yeah, nice 1997 thing. It's the bomb. Castor Troy has built this 3D flash animation like a fucking Homestar Runner
Yes.
cartoon of how awesome his bomb is.
My only note here is aged graphic design.
Yeah, but why would you even have it? It's not like schematics for the bomb. It's like beep 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 boop beep 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 beep. How's this work? Do do do. And arrows are pointing
Yeah.
to different things, and animation is just all over the stupid thing.
This is
And
back.
a naked lady.
Yeah, and there's a
Yeah.
naked lady eventually.
I think this is back when movie producers still thought that Commodore 64s were actual computers.
That you just, like, if you're a criminal mastermind, you just talk to the computer and be
Yeah.
like, computer, I need a picture of my bomb and make it sweet. Like,
Yeah.
do some cool stuff with it.
Like Windows 4.1, Bill Gates is like, here's the graphic user interface to a movie producer. He's like, where's the boob lady? This is a computer that works for business and manufacturing. Why isn't it talking and laughing at me?
Well, because you don't know C sharp.
Yeah.
Do you know how to write C sharp? I know how to sing in C sharp. Ew.
Now that we're making computer jokes, Jackie, do you know how much information you can store on an iOmega zip drive?
Ooh,
I know.
Let me answer
All right.
before I want to try to. Go ahead.
10 megs.
128
128 what?
megs.
100 megabytes.
Really?
You were closer.
Yeah, I was close, but I went over. So Price is Right rules. I lose.
The iOmega Jazz drive was 1 gigabyte.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Cool. Fun fact. Hashtag look it up again, kids, because you probably don't know about the zip drive.
What's a megabyte?
Yeah, that too. So he needs to get the location of this bomb from Pollux Troy because Castor's dead and he can't get it from him. But Pollux refuses to give up any information. He's never going to talk to anybody but Castor.
This guy is soft, I can tell. If they're so secret that nobody gives a fuck about him, I guess they're not secret enough to just beat the shit out of this guy until he talks.
Hold on. You haven't had time properly to set up all of the flaws with the plot of this movie, Sam. You have stumbled upon one of them. Let's give this a couple minutes to actual face-off time to discuss whether face-off would work.
Well, the problem is when we get into this other stuff, that's when I consider the whole reality of anything to just go sideways.
Right. Okay, so he won't talk because Castor's dead, so what to do? His aide takes him to the secret science place.
Tito. His aide's name is Tito. We got to remember that because he screams, "No, Tito!"
Inside, they've got Castor there. He's alive in a coma, quote unquote. And the only way for them to get Castor to, well, you know what happens. So they find out the bomb is going off on the 18th. That's the other deadline. It's things are tick, tick, tick.
Tick, tick, tick.
And Archer's struggling with the decision to swap faces with his worst enemy who shot his son in the dead spot. And but there's lives on the line, so he's got to do it. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do the swap.
There's a million undercover guys in the FBI, but we need you, the director of this department, to do it.
Well, I actually
Off
don't
the
have
books.
I don't have a problem with this because they do cover their ass on that one in one line where they say, "You know this guy better than anybody else, so we need you to do it so that you don't be like, what's my birthday?" when somebody says, "What's your birthday, Castor Troy?"
Plus, you get a free liposuction.
That's true.
Well, he was a little bit of a fatty.
So they go in and for surgery and they cut Archer's face off. And nope. No,
One,
they do not.
This sucks. Two, it takes so fucking long to get through this whole thing.
How does this work?
Suction cup.
No, before that, how do they cut his face off?
Lasers.
Lasers. But it doesn't cut off the fleshy tissue. It just traces a path along the dots that the doctor has drawn on his face, which would imply that when you take his face off, you're also taking a straight line from those incisions of the lasers through to the other side, and half of his skull comes out along with some brains in his eyeballs.
That would make more sense.
It sucks. Even if the laser only cut the distance of his what's that called, the epidermis,
Yes, the epidermal layer.
from those points, when you try to pull his face off, it would just peel apart.
Well, that's where the really good suction cut. It's a face suction cut.
But it doesn't cut any of the connective tissues. It doesn't disconnect his nostrils or his eyelids from anything. his lips from the thing that connects to your teeth, whatever that little flappy thing is.
Just heats it up real nice like a bumper sticker. Comes
it just
right off.
comes right goddamn off.
Yep.
It sucks.
I think that's part of the reality world of the movie. That's why everyone's always touching each other's faces, because in the reality of the movie, anyone's face could actually fall off at any minute.
Right. Oh, and we shouldn't fail to mention that they have different blood types.
Yeah, so I think that I am not a doctor.
I think you're close enough to get this one right.
I think that is the prerequisite for organ donors is the same blood type, correct?
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, and the skin is the largest organ in the body.
It really, really is, and there's lots of blood pumping through it, Sam, so we know that A, it's important, and B, there's blood in it, and if the blood doesn't match, then it's just going to go and it's going to reject it. Your body's going to reject it.
And if the blood doesn't fit, you must
have quit
putting on the face.
Oh, shit, we already took his face off.
Just put it back on. It doesn't really work like that.
Well, the movie's called Face Off, so I think we're okay.
Yeah, why not?
He's just Face Off guy now. He's basically Darkman. This movie's basically Darkman.
Darkman was a lot better than this.
Darkman is a shitload better.
And I'm not going to endorse Darkman as being good.
There's also the problem with John Travolta's body mass, his shoe size, his
height.
eye color, his hair, because they're doing a face transplant. How?
I think the worst thing they don't address, that would be the thing that would fuck this up bad, teeth.
Teeth!
Yeah.
Big time!
Yeah.
The other main problem, and we're going to just address it now because we're talking about the problems of the body swap, penis! At some point, the penis comes into play in this film, and I'm sorry, dude. Jackie, can you tell the difference between two ding-dongs?
Yes.
I thought you could, especially mine because it's weird.
And my other one.
Yeah, and my other one, of
Right,
course. Yeah, I've got two of them, one normal, one weird. Body hair. I mean, Travolta's clearly going to be a back hair man. Cage has got shoulder hair, but I don't know if he's a back hair guy.
I think they're both hairy as shit.
Okay, maybe they're monkey men. It just at no point, especially shoes and teeth. It's clear as fucking day that they're not the same person. Ugh, can't work. 1997 science. Oh, this is future shit. Oh, also voice. They do with a microchip. So they just like plug a microchip and then tune it. Which, how does that fucking do anything?
Yeah, it's at this point you're so like whatever with the rest of the science. You're like, why not?
Ugh. So it's go time. He's all caged in. He's ready to go, and he goes into prison and he meets the brother. Oh, should mention the mag boots that they have
Are from Mario Brothers the movie. They're the gravity boots in the John Leguizamo. And who's the English gentleman who was a sir?
Michael Caine.
No, Bob Hoskins.
Oh, Bob Hoskins.
Yeah, Bob Hoskins is Mario, and John Leguizamo is Luigi.
Oh, and they had gravity boots?
Yeah, and it's odd because like the trivia was that, those are the same boots, but they're the same base of the boot. And then there's a lot more in this movie.
Oh, not the idea of them.
The prop itself has been recycled
okay, cool.
and then reproduced into a larger quantity.
All right. So the whole prison's magnetized, so if they want to escape, they just churn on a button and suck them to the ground, basically.
Yeah.
Kind of okay, I guess. But not really. It's pretty dumb. He finds Pollux and Tom Jane's there. Tom Jane's sighting everybody.
Hey, Tom Jane.
Hey, you didn't know Tom Jane was in this movie. There's a fist fight. Everybody wants to kill Castor for some reason. I don't know.
Because he's fucked over most of these people that are in there.
Why did he win?
Because he's a dick.
Yeah, like the guy who he gets in the first fight with, he slept with his wife and daughter.
Wife and sister at the same time.
Yeah.
So this is the only prison in the world, and it's just got all the bad guys that Castor Pollux knows, or Castor Troy knows in this.
Yeah.
Okay,
This is super prison. He knows all these guys because he's super bad guy, and they don't like him because he banged all their wives or something.
And at the same time, as many problems as we have with the face on off, Pollux isn't convinced that that's his brother. He's suspicious by this. So Archer, as Castor, has to really ramp up his fight performance.
Sure.
Wow, I'm really fucking crazy. Remember me being crazy? Bro, quote unquote. Why, how, and when would have Pollux have cause to be like, I'm not sure that that's my brother?
I don't know.
If you met anybody
He's very suspicious.
in your life that was clearly wearing somebody else's face that you knew, and say they're a different height and a different body build and a different shoe size, and their teeth are suddenly fucked up, and their penis is completely different, would you be like, hey, you're not that, you're a phony? Or you just be like, man, you got weird. What happened to you?
Usually when you see somebody wearing someone else's face, they're holding a chainsaw and you fucking run. You just run as fast as you can. You don't go upstairs.
Back at the science lab, Castor has woken up with no face.
With mostly a face.
Yeah, this sucks. I gotta say.
It sucks.
You don't do this. I know you can't cut Nicolas Cage's face completely off. You can just rub some raspberry jam on it and pretend that his face has been cut off, but just don't show it. Make it implied.
I thought it was lunch meat with a bunch of ketchup on it.
He's wearing Lady Gaga's dress.
Yeah, it maybe just like watch Masters of the Universe and take a look at Frank Lagella's makeup. Do a slimy red version of it.
Well, no, you can't because he has eyelids. It just doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
You can't do it without cutting off the eyelids of the actor. Don't do it. Hey, remember that Two-Face in The Dark Knight? They didn't actually apply a bunch of raspberry jam to Captain Handsome. They did it with CGI. It's the only way you can do that. So he calls his boys, hey, get me out of here.
What's that, Gary Busey? I'm not Gary Busey, goddammit.
God damn it, it's me, Castor Pollux, Castor Troy. And
we're all out of we're all out of cocaine, Gary Busey. Stop calling here.
Get the doctor. And the doctor, they bring the doctor in. He's like, what do you want? What do you think I want? He wants a face. So he wants John Travolta's face. Face off. Face off WAP.
Well,
face
it is the
off.
only one available.
Yeah, it is. It's just sitting there,
Yeah,
waiting to get
hanging out.
Put back on at a later date. Back in prison, Archer can't get the dirt, I guess, because Pollux is still just too suspicious or something. I don't know. A visitor comes in and, oh my God, it's me. Castor's there already. The other thing we should mention is there's no healing time in this film.
Yeah.
Like none whatsoever. No stitches, no nothing. Everything is just like hours later.
Yeah, they don't need that. Which, if I was undergoing this surgery, like while you're down there,
right.
and then the doctor's apparently hard of hearing, and I walk out with a 14-inch Bic. Whoa,
Right.
what do I need to light this big for?
I got 1 million ducks.
He does spill the beans before Travolta shows up as Pollux Archer, not Archer Pollux.
No, I'm getting confused.
So when they first have the conversation and he proves to Pollux, not Castor. He proves to Pollux that he's Castor. He says it's in the convention center prior
I
to
missed that. Okay.
Whatever.
All right. It really doesn't have any relevance on the plot because Castor has burned all the evidence back at the science and killed his friends. And he's
stolen his wedding ring.
He's stolen his identity. He's an identity thief. And he's going to go home and make sweet, sweet love to his bony-ass wife.
Yep.
And he's just going to leave Archer to rot in prison for the rest of his life. Ha ha ha, gotcha, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
This was a bad plan. Okay, so this was a bad plan. We now know. Now, you say that they could have just kicked the shit out of Pollux and done some torture stuff and got the information. I think they could have maybe tried the good cop, bad cop at least once.
Sure.
The other thing that they could do is exactly what the film does. You go in as John Travolta, make up this big conspiracy theory of Pollux to convince him that they've done a face swap, and just be like, no, hey, it's me. I'm your brother. You have to confess where the bomb is to make me look awesome. And then he does, because that's exactly what happens in the movie.
Huh.
Just make this anything but a face swap would have worked better.
See, I think it would have been better if they would have done a Weekend at Bernie's thing with the coma cage.
Okay.
We're like, oh, I don't remember anything. You're going to tell me about it.
I
Blah, blah,
smoked
blah.
so much weed.
Yeah. Oh, really stoned.
Yep. Probably would have been worked better than a face swap.
He's like here underneath the bed. He's pooping. You're shaking him too hard. Oh, no. I got some problems here, bro.
It's the weed.
Yep.
So
Loosens my
Yep,
bowels.
nachos and weed. Boy. So we're gonna skip a little bit ahead. Archer and Castor do this life swap thing. Archer's having a hard time in prison. Castor's out there banging his wife and molesting his teenage daughter and being creepo, but he's being kind of cool to her as well.
He almost molested her, but then he doesn't. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to be cool dad.
Right.
And I should mention, because Dominique Swain is the actress that plays the daughter, and she is quite unclothed most of the time. Like, she's covered mostly. How old do you think she is? Because I know how old she is.
16.
Yeah, she's 16 when they're shooting this.
Yeah.
That's
It's a little bit too much teenage butt on camera for me.
yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah. Jackie, did you like it? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Okay, just check. So he gets Castor or Pollux to tell him the place of the bomb, which he already fucking knows. And he goes in there and disarms the bomb, and he's a fucking hero, and the community loves him, and the babes at work are like, wow, you've really changed. And he's grabbing their butts and being like, woo! And just being a fucking douche in complete and totalness.
Yeah.
Did you have surgery or something?
No, I just pulled that thing out of my ass.
Because they successfully removed the stick in your ass. It's like the pinnacle of him being cool.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And he's like, I'm not slapping your ass, no matter how many good jokes you tell. No.
So Archer in prison's like, fuck it, I gotta get out of here. So he starts a fight so that he can get put in shock therapy.
Yes.
And he steals a cigarette on the way. And his great plan is to rely on a guy happen to have been already in shock therapy.
Yes.
Boy, I hope somebody's in there right now, because this is really dumb if I don't. And he gets that guy to start a fight, and then he burns the cigarette into the guy's
Joe
hand.
Bob Briggs!
Oh, yeah, it's Joe Bob Briggs.
Yeah.
Famed stinker fan, Joe Bob Briggs. Also a fan of the show.
Yeah. But yeah, Joe Bob Briggs plays the lobotomy electroshock doctor, and he gets cigarette burned, but then
He gets a line, too.
the guy who gets beat up by Castor, who doesn't like him, doesn't like being in prison just a little bit more, so he agrees to start a riot.
Yeah, it's really
A
stupid.
one-man riot.
It's really
that
stupid.
sort
Which
of-
gets everybody else rioting as well.
Yeah, and Stan is in there. We Stan from Volcano.
From Volcano, yeah.
He has a
The
real
man chucking
name,
man.
I'm sure.
Stan, the man chucking man.
John Carroll Lynch is the guy who plays Stan. So he will forever be known as Stan. Stan's in there, and he's trying to regulate, but I think he gets hit by a plate or something, and he's out.
Yeah, I think they just dogpile him, but
Later in the riot, though, Stan will magically appear being like drawn and quartered by some of the prisoners, which I think is great, because in the two movies that we've done with John Lynch Carroll, he is melted by lava and drawn and quartered by hand.
right.
Not Stan!
No one does that to Stan. Also, guards are getting killed all over this fucking prison
shit,
riot. Innocent men who work in the law enforcement field industry, who Archer may or may not know, he's complicit in their deaths.
He stops him a couple times.
A couple times, but dude, he had to have fucking known that this was gonna go south.
I don't think he gave two shits. They
I
weren't
don't
exactly
think he
nice
gives
to him.
two shits.
I don't think that they were very nice to him.
Yeah, but they think he's Castor.
It is an illegal prison.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's off the books in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, then
On
fuck. Maybe it's a private prison, and fuck those people.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's on a, well, as we're going to find out at the end of the escape, where it is.
Yeah. He climbs the ladder, and hey, guess what? It's an oil rig. There we go. There's the end of the
Sure.
escape. He's on top of an oil rig.
So then what we have to, what must determine at that point is that Archer is a very strong swimmer.
Mm-hmm.
Because he jumps into the water, and the next scene he's back in
Yep.
home.
Yep.
He swims home.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we also get our first look at clearly not the actor doing the stunt.
Oh, yes.
Who is that person jumping off of there?
That's Steve, the stuntman.
It's not Nick Cage.
Not Nick Cage.
It's like, you think that they would make his stunt double, like, cut his fucking hair.
Cut his fucking hair.
Because every time that there's a Nick Cage stunt double, it's got hair and it's flying away from its head. But
clearly not balding man.
yeah, and then it was really distracting. I
you-
mean, I just didn't really get into those scenes after I saw that. I was like,
You could also do a long shot or a shot from the back, not have the close-up of the stuntman's face. Maybe is a good idea. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. I don't know shit about filmmaking, but
Well, it's, part of the film. Maybe his face came off. And now he has a different face.
yeah, underneath his other face, he's got more
Yeah.
faces.
It's that face is barely on there, so it came off, and he has to round it up before he swims home.
They stuck a backup face underneath the
Yeah.
Cage face just in case.
Steve, we need to borrow your face for the backup.
I'll do it.
Why not?
2 weeks from retirement. Here, take it. Back at home, Archer's wife's totally buying it. She has no qualms with the swap of the ding-dongs. None.
And apparently she doesn't care that her husband has, and this is going to be later, and we're going to forget this anyway, that later on it's revealed that she's a fucking vegetarian, and he gives her lobster for dinner. So it's like, boy, my husband sure hates me, and his wiener's different.
Yeah.
Yay for me.
Archer gets to LA and he tries to call his wife, and she's like, "Nope, you're fucking phony, Nick Cage. I know it's you. You killed our son, you dirty son of a bitch." He calls Castor and he's like, "Hey, I just want you to know, I'm coming for you." So he goes to meet Castor's pals because he's Castor. He can get in tight with these people and find out, or I guess just have a place to stay. What's he trying to do with Castor's old team?
He's gonna use them to kill
Archer.
And he says as much.
Okay.
And it's Nick Cassavetes' place. Is that he's the head guy.
Right. And
then
Gina Gershon's there too.
Is his sister, who it's
Not
played
Nick
out.
Cage's sister.
No, Nick Cassavetes' sister.
Yeah.
And they sort of play it up like, especially in the reviews of the movie and everything, like, oh, they're so incestuous because they really smooch each other later on. But it is obvious that Gina Gershon's character is more into Castor.
Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Say he accomplishes this task, and him and Castor's bros go out and shoot Archer to death or whatever. Then what?
He whips out a pocket knife and starts cutting his face off.
I'm not sure he knows how to do that. To do a face swap on a dead guy. Oh, good. I get to have rigor mortis face for the rest of my life. That's neat. I mean, he's dead.
You got like an ice bag and 20 minutes to get it to the hospital, maybe.
I'm not buying it.
That's plan B.
Yeah, I'm with Sam. It's
Plan
like,
A is to have the shootout at the hospital.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he already, it's where he called in the doves first.
Oh, they also give him drugs, and he trips out a little bit, and he's like, "I want to take my face off."
So he wants to take the Archer's face
Yeah, I
off.
want to take his face off. Face off.
and it just fucking keeps saying it.
Oh, and it's hilarious.
Cassavetes starts saying it too.
You want to take his face off? Face off. Hilarious. Oh, Danny Masterson shows up at Archer's place and attempts to rape his teenage daughter. And Archer comes out and kicks his ass, or Castor comes out and kicks his ass.
Yep.
It should be mentioned that Danny Masterson is currently on trial for rape. So
Not good.
Yeah, not good. Self-fulfilling prophecy or self-fulfilling casting, maybe.
Self-fulfilling cast.
I hope he's innocent. I hope he's innocent until proven guilty. So I hope he's innocent. And then he can punch me in the face for saying he's on trial for rape. But he is on trial for rape. Pollux is back at the hangout, and he's like, hey, dude, Archer's over here, bro. And he's trying to put the moves on Gina Gerson, which he's married. So what's going on with that? Because she's all about it because she thinks she's you. But it's kind of betrayal because she also can tell the difference between ding-dongs. And but he's on drugs, so I don't know what's really if there's an ethical problem here, but I thought you should know. Okay, cool. She's got a son. It's Castor's son, and Archer's like, ooh, he kind of fucking tweaks out again. I guess because he's still on drugs, and he's like, hey, you're my son.
And he just loves his son so much. And the kid's doofy, and they look about the same. So
this kid, there's something
I'm
going
sure
on
it's
here.
not Castor's. It's Hall of Fame hockey player Brett Hull's son. Because that kid has got hockey hair like nobody's had hockey hair in 20 years.
He might also be Prince Adam's son because
he's
got a mega ape drape.
It is an ape drape. No, I don't know why they're not like if he's like he scored a hat trick off camera 3 times while they were filming this movie.
Oh boy, this kid doesn't talk much, does he?
No, he's all about business, putting the puck in the goal. That's it.
How old is this kid?
Got to be like 9.
Yeah.
They're saying he's 5. They're trying to carry him a couple times. It's like, this kid's really big.
I think there's something weird going on with this one.
If he really is 5, that kid's gonna, he's gonna be a hell of a defenseman.
Or he likes banjos and front porches because I think there's something else going on with him. A little too quiet. Anyways, FBI, there's a raid, big shootout, bang, bang, bang. Do we want to talk about anything during the shootout?
No.
There's lots of dumb stuff that happens during it.
There is a bunch of dumb stuff that happens. I think we should mention the Cassavetes neck wound.
Yeah, he gets shot by Castor.
So it's pouring out, and you can see it pouring on his shirt. And so they built this big rig for his...
Oh, like a semi-truck? Cool.
No, like a...
Breaker.
But they
rig.
build this apparatus to have blood spraying out of his neck, and they never get a good shot of it, and it becomes detached in one of the other shots, and so one of the flaps is like the fake skin flap is coming up on the back of his neck. It's like, good job, guys.
Nice.
You didn't get the shot that you needed, and you missed so many other shots that you had to use a shot that was bad.
Mm-hmm.
So Nick Cage comes down, Castor comes down, and it's just the two of them now, which is their second face-off. But this one, how many face-offs are in this scene right here?
Between the two of them?
Yeah, well, because they look at each other in the mirror. They're shooting at each other through a mirror, which to me it's a face-off times 3, because it's a face-off
on
with their faces off, and they're facing off against themselves. So it's a face-off, face-off, face-off.
It's a 3D face-off in 2D. Should have been mind-blowing.
In the movie Face-Off, so I guess it's a 4 times face-off.
Yeah.
Boosh. It's really stupid, but it's very John Woo-esque. I'm shooting myself, but my enemy, who is me. Oh,
super slow motion, because gunfights are very emotional.
Indeed. Archer causes Pollux to eventually fall to his death at Castor's feet, so now Pollux is dead, and Castor's like, boo, kind of. And Archer runs away. At work, Castor kills Archer's boss, I guess for revenge. I don't really know why he does that.
He just flips out. He starts killing everybody.
Okay.
I think he did it so that he could control that division.
Yeah, maybe.
So he's pulling a Trump.
Yeah,
He's going to end the Russian investigation by killing James Comey. Hey-oh!
Whoa.
Oh!
It's about as well thought out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because he goes, call an ambulance. So-and-so had a heart attack. But he, clearly beat the shit out of him.
He punches him in the back of the neck, and then he gives him the death punch to the heart, I guess. Because he already had a weak heart. I don't know about this.
The paramedics show up and they're like, that man had a heart attack. He's like, no, he's alive, but somebody beat the shit out of him.
No, he's fine. He's just got a bruise in his chest, but thankfully somebody punched him square in the heart and broke that blood clot that was forming in there, and now he's going to be aces. We were going to do a triple bypass on him to save his life, but man, whoever punched his heart is a goddamn American hero. He should thank him for saving his life forever. Mm-hmm. Oops. Anyways, yeah, but he's dead. Archer actually goes home and meets his wife and tells her the truth. Hey, remember the last thing I said to you? Which is the first thing you do when anytime anybody's confused about your identity, you tell them something that only the two of you would know. And you instantly have to go, wait, only the two of us would know that. That is clearly you. That's what you do the very first time.
We were coming back from Thanksgiving. We had prime rib. You tried to give me roadhead. We hit a bump. You barfed everywhere.
Oh my God.
So did I, because I got a weak stomach and I barfed on the back of your
The windows
head.
were closed. It was winter. It was bad. It was real bad. You are my husband.
I love you.
Just thinking about it. Oh God.
He's like, hey, just so you know, I can prove it. Check his blood type. Because she's a doctor, I guess. And so she stabs him in the middle of the night and gets his blood. And at no point does she like, man, his face should have totally fallen off right now. But because I guess I don't know how science works, even though I'm a doctor.
Well, this is also the point where if you're like, they're having sex, she's already, wiener test has failed.
Mm-hmm.
He forgot that she's a vegetarian.
Mm-hmm.
And the scar that he dwells upon forever and ever and ever is just somehow gone.
Just somehow disappears.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Maybe riding the pony was worth it, so she can just overlook the rest of it.
I think she's in it for the D.
She's taking a free one.
Yeah, I think this, Castor Troy has a huge dong.
She's like, I totally didn't notice.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
This guy can eat a peach for hours. Suck my tongue. All right, so it's time to end this. Everyone knows it. Everybody's ready to go. She's convinced. He's convinced. Castor and Mrs. Archer go to the boss's funeral, and John Woo's telling us it's time to end this as well, so we know it's time to end this. Archer slow motions his way across the beach. Well, I don't even know what he's doing at the beach, but...
That's where the church is.
Is it? It's a beach? Church
No,
beach?
this is, it's got it all, man. It's,
All right.
one, the guy who's in charge of the FBI isn't having one of those huge cemetery government funerals. No, it's like a private job in a 10-pew church on the beach.
Yeah.
Seems a little odd.
Yeah. And eventually everybody clears out except for the two of them and like 100 fucking doves.
Well, the doves were for the funeral.
Did they bring doves to a funeral inside of a church and then not get rid of the doves? I mean, I understand the reference, everybody. I get it's a John Woo movie and that's what he does, but it just is like, what are these fucking doves doing inside of this church, shitting up everything?
Just shitting everywhere.
Everywhere. Jesus is covered in shit. The statue, not the actual Jesus. Which I guess they're one and the same in Catholicism. Whatever. He's got his family. There's like a 5-way standoff. Gina Gershon gets plugged during it. The rest of the guys get plugged. They shoot each other some more. Gina Gershon gives us a Ben Kingsley death. And the daughter shows up. And she thinks that Castor's Archer and Archer's Castor... or Archer's Archer and Castor's Castor, not the other way around. And she ends up shooting her dad.
And then stabbing her not dad.
Stabbing her not dad.
So she gets a lot of action for somebody who's only 16.
And John Travolta licks her face in this scene, which is fucking gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yucky.
It's pretty gross. Suck my tongue. There's a boat chase.
Boat chase.
Boat chase.
Yay.
Long boat chase with lots of things happen. The LAPD gets shot. LAPD. Yeah,
Lapid.
The Lapid gets shot and exploded. That's kind of fun.
Completely blown up and then driven through.
And then driven through.
No survivors.
Uh-huh. They just have pistols, but they shoot more bullets than the guys that have M16s.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
The problem is that the LAPD harbor master keeps making boats made of explosives.
Yeah, that's a real problem in LA, I hear. Archer eventually jumps on Castor's boat, and they're fighting on it, and they're going like 900 miles per hour, and they eventually crash and explode.
They both also steal boats that are going on picnics.
Yeah.
And I would give Castor the win on the boat versus boat because he's the only one that fucks up the picnic. So in all of the shooting, the boat driven by Archer, who looks like Castor, his chips get the shit shot out of him.
Oh yeah, the
But
chips
he
in the
never-
back of the boat.
But he's never able to shoot Travolta's chips back. So I give the boat, I give it a 1-0 victory to Travolta because he's able to fuck up the picnic.
Gotcha. It should also be mentioned that these are the two fastest boats on the entire marina,
Yeah.
and they just happen to be right next to each other, conveniently ready to be chased after.
I guess
each
they
other.
were going to have like a boat race and then stop in the middle of the ocean and eat chips.
So they crash and explode, and they go flying through the air. And hey, who are those guys?
Yes, the climactic boat explosion, men being thrown from explosion in slow motion for 4 seconds. Definitely not Nick Cage or John Travolta.
Very much
I
not.
think one of them's Daniel Bernhardt and the other one's John Hamm.
The other one might be Sandra Bernhardt.
Whoa. She landed on a cucumber.
Ooh. Oh.
Thank you. I'm Sandra Bernhardt. Wait, that's not a very good impression.
That's pretty much the worst. Harpoon gun.
Harpoon almost grabs the harpoon gun.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like
he
the
eventually
denial.
shoots him.
Eventually.
Yeah. So he's dying, I guess, in the tummy from a tummy wound by a harpoon gun or something. I don't know. The FBI runs in, and they now know that he's Archer. Hey, it's you, Archer. Hey, you know me? Oh. And he's taking an ambulance, and the same ambulance that Castor's in. Well, that's fucking handy.
Yeah.
Probably not a good idea, but okay. And they take him to like a Joe doctor, like at the hospital, and he knows how to do a face on, face off.
They say that they've got the best surgeons coming from Washington, D.C.
They
That do
originally to
face-offs?
do this, they had to have so much specialized equipment with lasers and face suckers and bone restructuring and tooth changers and foot chopper offers and reattachers and penis adjusters and hairline removers and
This
But-
sounds like a Tupperware party.
just the hospital. The ER has all of that. They just need the top surgeon.
They took him to Bosley.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm going to take you to the blood bank.
Whoa!
It works. Everything's fine.
happy.
Yeah, everything. I guess Castor just dies.
So, but they got him on ice and then got him into the ER fast enough for the face on.
Right.
Oh, open casket, you know.
Hey, that man's face is off. Or he's just got jam all over it. Archer comes home, kisses his wife. Oh, I brought a little something with me. It's Castor's kid, the hockey playing banjo player.
Yep.
He's either really good at banjo or he's either really good at hockey. You want to keep him? Why not?
Well, it's too late at that point. You're already keeping him.
Why? Because he
Once
shows
he
up.
walks through the door, it's not like a dog.
Yeah, you can't take the kid back to the pound.
The first time he shits on the floor, he's out of here. Take that goddamn boy back. I can't. His mommy and his daddy are dead. I don't care. He's pissing on the furniture again.
He's dual building. It's in his blood.
He's rejecting the face on.
Oh no.
That's our family's thing, and he doesn't like it. He only likes faces off. Oh, my God. Whew. Who wants to go first on questions?
I only have one question, but I'm going to make this sort of my observation of the situation. If the FBI had they knew at the end, like, okay, Archer's really Castor, Castor's really Archer. There was a secret facility. Only the two of them know about it. The facility's been destroyed.
And one of them is
Everything-
dying. and
One of
probably
them's
isn't
dying.
able to talk.
Everything's off the books. They really just shoot everybody and burn the bodies.
Yeah, I kind of think so. Like, okay, nothing to see here, folks. Tape everything off, and somebody sleeps with the fishes.
Hey, Archer, look over there.
What?
What? Can you see the bunnies, Archer? Can you see them?
What bunnies?
Bunnies? Oh, I loved that book.
Oh, that's ridiculous. But probably true. Jackie?
Do you think that kid grows up and kills them all?
I think he murders the shit out of him. I think
Probably.
You killed my parents.
here's the thing about this film. And it leads into my question, which is, why does Castor care so much about Archer? Like, he just fucking loves him. And I'll tell you why. Because he's the Joker to Archer's Batman. They can't exist without each other, which means that Castor is fucking batshit crazy. He's as insane as the Joker is. That's in his blood.
They're both, but they're shitty Batman and Joker.
Right. They're shitty Batman and Joker, but that's their whole dichotomy of the relationship.
Sure.
And so that shit passes on to that fucking kid. They wake up dead for breakfast one morning. Axes through their faces, and their faces are off, and they wake up and they're like, hey, where's my face? I was going to brush it. And they're like, well, your face is off. Hey, you too. And then they die.
They
That's
just
the
got their
sequel.
faces on some mannequins and he's rubbing them.
I hated this.
About time you people shut the fuck up.
Where's she really?
God damn it, Gary Busey. Knock next time.
My question is, what's Castor's job? And I understand his job is he's a professional bad guy, but what's his job? How does he make money?
Craigslist
is right. So apparently the way they set it up is that terrorist organizations that aren't quite as apt with the execution just give him money to do their
So he's a
dirty
hitman?
work. Yeah, well, except he's like the professional. So he'll blow up the building and then you get to take credit for it or whatever.
So is that what he's doing at the very beginning of the movie? Is
Yes,
he's
he's-
pulling a job?
He's freelancing.
Okay, because he seems to be. He also, when he shoots through John Travolta and into the kid's face or his dead spot, he almost seems like, ooh, that's not going to work out later. That was a bad shot. Why didn't I shoot him in the head? That was a bad call.
Yeah.
Why didn't he shoot him again?
Yeah.
Maybe you gotta make sure. He's a bad assassin, but
I don't know.
he doesn't
stinks.
blow anything up either.
No.
Kills some beasts like grunts.
He seems like a bad website. That you're like, I'm going to order a really cheap scooter. And then it comes in a box.
And it's a model. It's 64th scale.
Yeah.
I have one question.
Actually, you
is-
already had one, so this is your second.
Well, that wasn't. It was an observation.
Okay.
My one question is, who's the worst caster? Who's the most outlandish, but
Now,
version?
are we talking about Castor's face or Castor
Castor's
the character?
character is played both by Nicolas Cage for a shorter time and John Travolta for a longer time.
No, that's that's Archer wearing Castor's face. So are you talking about Castor?
No, I'm talking about the character Castor, who is played mostly by John Travolta
But he's also playing Archer.
for a shorter amount of time.
No, he only plays Castor when he's in the prison trying to convince his brother. The rest of the time he's playing
so
Archer.
He is Castor
with Castor's
Troy
face
with
on.
his face, with Archer's face. I'm talking about in the movie, the person, Castor Troy, who is played by John Travolta for the majority of the film.
No, John Travolta's playing Archer wearing Castor's face.
No,
Oh my God, you suck so bad.
anyway,
That is what happens. He only is Castor Troy when he's in the prison. The rest of the time, he's like, it's me, Archer. I'm not Castor. I'm just wearing his face.
or when they're dealing with each other, he does it too.
How's that?
Like licking the daughter's face, being
No, that's John Travolta. Or that's Castor.
He doesn't get what you're
actual,
saying.
Actual Castor.
yes, exactly.
Oh.
So what I'm just
I see
saying,
what you're saying.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So who lays it on thicker?
Okay.
Of the getting, because the character Castor Troy is apparently John Woo has given you license to do everything except take your dick out in helicopter.
Yeah, pretty much.
So who lays it on thicker, Travolta or Cage?
Yeah, I'm going with the clear one or the easy one. I think it's Cage.
Even though it's a shorter amount of time,
Yeah.
he's all over it.
Yeah, he's all over it. That first freaking scene where he grabs the girl's butt and does the little twirl and hallelujah shit. And yeah, it's pretty fucking out there. And especially during the prison sequence where he has to prove to his brother that he's basically the Joker. He's pretty fucking out there right then.
What do you think, Jackie?
I'm going with Travolta.
Okay.
Like, he
Okay.
laid it on thicker than I'm not saying that he was better at it,
Yes.
but you could tell that he was definitely trying real hard there to be the sex machine that Nicolas Cage just kind of oozed out in the beginning of the movie. Like when he was trying to
Suck my
seduce the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's just trying so hard, and he's just that awkward, like, well, the ladies usually just suck my dick. I'm not used to having to try.
Instead of, because he's like rubbing her feet.
Yeah.
I could chew on baby carrots. So it's like toes, I guess.
Right.
So then I agree. I'm going to take Jackie. I think Travolta lays it on thicker. Who sucks worse as a whole, not taking character into consideration, Cage or Travolta?
Nicolas Cage.
Oh, Travolta sucks.
I'm going to go with as a whole because of the way he keeps smiling and tilting his head back when he's like, I'm not me. He does it like 6 times. I'm going with Cage.
Yeah, all right. Final recommendations.
I'm going to say do.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Now, what'd you enjoy about it?
It was just entertaining, and I liked how they both had to try to play the same character, and I don't know. It was just entertaining to me, and I thought it was really fucking retarded, and the science doesn't make any sense. But you know what? And the chances of escaping from a prison like that, probably not going to happen.
Probably not very good.
But, overall, good climax, like the speedboat chase. Okay, the very first part of the speedboat chase, and then after that, I could give a fuck less. But I liked it. I was entertained.
Sammy?
I'm giving it a do because this was one of my most hated films the first time I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't seen it since like 2001, 2002. It's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
It is bullshit. There is dry spots, but there's enough bullshit to keep you going.
Yeah, it's such an action movie. Whoa, so much action. All the reviews that I like, 7 out of 10, 9 out of 10, mega action movie. There's only 2 fucking action sequences.
I bet out of the 2 hours, there's only about 20 minutes
I
of
guess
action.
the prison escape is kind of an action sequence, but it's not exciting.
Now they string you along on stuff they string you along on bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 hours plus long, but it still manages to be worth seeing on a revisit because of how fucking stupid it is.
I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This is super easy to riff, super stupid, mega laugh out loud ability. And despite the lack of action that everybody praises it for, it's not very action packed, guys.
It is not.
They're all the things that are happening with the 2 of these guys doing a terrible job of acting is a blast to carry it throughout the whole thing. There is a couple dry spots, but you always have that if Cage or Travolta are on screen hamming it up, basically, it'll carry you to the next thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally do. I fucking hated this movie. Thought it was shit. Now I'm like, that was awesome.
I love this movie because it's shit.
It's shit. It's total shit. I think it was a great revisit. I encourage anybody to go revisit this one, even though everybody's seen it. If you praise this film and think it's good quality, you need to go watch it again. Because all right. Couple more items to take care of. We got some listener feedback this week from a new listener called his name is Michael in Utah. He says, "Hey guys, I came across your podcast a couple of months ago, and it's turned into my favorite distraction at work. I used to be a not-so-serious fan of bad movies, but over the years, that interest slowly died off for various reasons. I need to thank you, 3, because you have rekindled my love of fun, god-awful schlock. It's opened an entire world of cinematic turds back up to me. Don't get me wrong, I'm relatively old hat at this, and your occasional mentions of MST3K and other nostalgic things for me, such as badmovies.org, and even random stuff like those Land Before Time puppets from Pizza Hut. Thanks for that nostalgia, Sam. Help me endure your podcast. Help me endure your podcast.
We should get somebody who can fucking read on this. And it's not me or Jackie either.
I have been drinking.
We need to get a 4th person who just reads things.
The dog.
All of the above has helped endear me to your podcast because I still go through a couple of them a week. Riff tracks too. In fact, your recent mentions of Cindy and Nightmare at Noon makes me want to recommend a few for you since I've gone through dozens and dozens at this point. Anyway, thank all of you 3, really. Do not think you're not making a difference because if you reached me, you've reached others like me. You guys are really appreciated. And then he goes on to give us a list of recommendations of films, probably 15. I'm not going to talk about any of them here because they are all on the radar for future episodes.
Excellent.
So,
Ooh, cool.
They will all be surprises. But yeah, some pretty good suggestions with some actually really good commentary on them. So thank you very much for that, Michael in Utah.
Yes, thanks, Mike in Utah. And if you're listening and want to go ahead and hit us at Talk at Stinker Madness.
Doug at StinkerMadness.com.
I didn't get to thank Mike in Utah. You two little fuckers just cut me off.
Well, because we're busy plugging.
Hey, Mike. Thanks. And guess what? I'm the number one here. And just in case you wanted to send how great I am. I hate you two. Quit looking at me like that.
Meanwhile, while your ego is exploding and your face is coming off from it, you have two tiny dogs circling you in
I know.
Mortal Kombat, and I hope it's coming through the speakers because they are fucking pissed. So yeah, send us your emails. Don't hesitate to review us on iTunes and Stitcher or wherever you listen to us, and tell your friends as well. We're trying to get the word out, more hands-on, person-to-person contact. So tell a friend, show them how to listen to the podcast as well if they don't know how. Did you know that the podcast market is exploding?
I did not.
More podcasts every day. It's exponential how many there are every new day. But only 50% of the U.S. population below the age of 40 has ever listened to a podcast.
Odd.
Yeah. So make sure to tell your friends how to listen to it. Also, if you need help to do that, just tell them to go to our website, stinkermadness.com. There's a button where they can click subscribe, and there's also a link that says how to subscribe to a podcast via whatever device you may have. So check that out. On streaming do's and don'ts this week, we've got 3 lined up. First off, we're going to talk about one that we all watched.
Dogs racing around Jackie.
It's called Dogs Racing Around Jackie. It's a total do if you can check it out because it's a blast. This one's called They Call Me Macho Woman on Amazon Prime.
This is a real find.
It's a trauma movie, we should mention.
Yeah, and it looks like a trauma buy, not a trauma build.
Sure.
But yeah, this thing was something else.
Do we got any stars in this? I mean, actors.
The gal is somebody sort of,
I
but
think she's been in some booby movies.
pretty much she's been in some booby movies. This thing is super self-aware of how dumb it is.
Chase bad guys in the woods, chase a woman to do nasty things to her. They never do, but they just want to kill her, and then she gets a revenge movie type thing.
Yeah.
Jackie, what were your thoughts on They Call Me Macho Woman?
Boring.
What?
Really?
Yeah, I was bored.
Huh.
I don't know, just didn't follow it, didn't care.
The
I was
Kung
just
Fu
bored.
guy didn't even do anything for you?
No, I was just terribly bored.
Huh.
I was like, dude, either kill her or, you know what, lady? Quit fucking around. Go to town.
Yeah, well.
She did have to take a nap first.
Don't forget it's a really bad movie, Jackie.
They have to get to at least an hour and 15 minutes to get it into the 4 theaters that are going to play it.
I really liked it.
I did too.
There's a turning point in this film where it becomes a riffer, or it goes from a riffer where Jackie's right, not a whole lot on screen is happening other than it's all dumb shit that doesn't make any sense, and so you can riff it pretty easy, into holy shit!
Yeah.
And then you stop riffing it and shit start flying off the handle.
Yeah, shit goes fucking crazy.
Yeah, I liked this movie a lot. This is maybe my 3rd favorite trauma film.
Yeah, I will only ruin one of the action. Things start out when a guy comes through a windshield, and then you realize that that's his battle strategy, is that he cannonballs through people's windshield, and now he's in the car with you.
He's pulling a Brock Sampson.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit, this guy means business.
Yeah, there's a ninja guy as well, and then just the bald guy. The
bald guy is the world's greatest shot putter.
Oh yeah, the world's greatest.
I can't remember his name, but because he's been like stripped of some things or whatever, because he was like professional at something else, like most of his shot put records don't count except for in Guinness, where they're like way longer than anybody else ever shot putting.
Mm.
Yeah, if you like that sort of schlock, it is a schlock film.
Oh, it's real bad, but it's something else.
Go for that one from 2 of us. Next up, via Mystery Science 3000. We've never talked about this on the show before, but we have all seen this movie prior to it. It's Star Crash on Netflix, starring David Hasselhoff and the old guy.
Christopher Plummer.
Christopher Plummer, yeah.
Who's the gal?
Don't remember some
She's
Italian
somebody.
bird.
No, she's a big deal.
Okay.
Because she's the one from that April Fool's Day, not the movie April Fools, but the one that has the April Fools, yeah. And she's the only person that doesn't get naked in it.
She's in a movie with Aziz Ansari because that's exactly what you.
The guy that does all the music from Charles Dance movies.
Oh, Puppet Masters.
Yeah, well, he does like a lot of the music for. I'm really fucking it up here.
Or Charles Band.
Charles
from,
Band.
From because Charles Dance.
Charles
is the
Dance
guy
is a different guy.
in Game of Thrones.
Just like a guy. Who's the guy?
A Lannister always pays his debts.
Yeah, Lannister. does
Star
that.
Crash.
Star Crash is. This is my 4th time watching Star Crash.
Okay, Jackie, we'll start with you again on Star Crash. Now, again, minus Mystery Science Theater. Just take yourself the Mystery Science Theater out of it and review the movie Star Crash by itself.
By itself, I loved it.
Yeah,
I thought it was super funny and kind of retarded.
it's super dumb.
And her outfit just gets skimpier and skimpier as the show goes on.
It's another costumes movie, all of Flash Gordon for you.
Yeah, it's-
Everything's very bright and colorful and stupid.
even
Yeah.
though it's billed as a Star Wars clone,
Right.
it's as much Barbarella as it is anything.
Yeah, that too. That's all. Without the sex.
Yeah.
Without the sex.
I fucking love Star Crash. It is one of my favorite shitty movies.
Yeah.
I do kind of have a love-hate relationship with the robot cop.
Cop sucks.
He super sucks, but eventually, like this time, this is my 3rd time watching it, and he's starting to grow on me.
Yeah, he
Like,
doesn't suck as bad.
I kind of like the robot cop who sucks.
And then I had a love-hate relationship with not William Catt, who is like completely invincible, but then dies from getting hit in the arm.
He has unlimited superpowers, more powerful than a Jedi, I would even say.
Yes.
And he gets whacked in the arm one time, and he
And just
dies
like,
from it.
lays down and dies. Like, that one really hurt. That was a Hertz donut. I didn't tell you I'm allergic to Hertz donuts, and that one's got me good. I'm gonna die now. This is my favorite Corwin movie of the science fiction.
Corwin.
Corman.
You have been also drinking, apparently.
Hey. Corman, science fiction. Did you, because you were always saying it's Battle Beyond the Stars, and I'm always saying Star Crash. This
I
time
like both of
around,
them.
I still like this one ahead of Battle Beyond the Stars, like about 4 inches.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's close. I will give it its close because, like I say, the last time I just struggled with that goddamn RoboCop that has the Southern accent. That's just such a doofus the entire time. But I'm tainted because I did watch it with Mystery Science Theater, but I have seen this multiple times now, and I do enjoy it thoroughly each time. But I'm going to stick with Battle Beyond the Stars.
Okay.
So, viewing it multiple times, I'm assuming we can all say do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do on Star Crash with or without. Last but not least, Sam and I watched this, starring Bruce Lee. And Bolo Yen stops by for a little while.
For a little bit. Jackie watched half of this.
Yeah.
And then I got tired.
It's called Super Gang on Amazon Prime.
Woo, super something. I could not understand what the fuck was going on. I watched half of this movie, and it seemed like there were about 10 different movies going on, and then they just kind of cut and then taped them together, and voila, film.
The one thing that I would say on this film is there's more and scene than you could possibly imagine in a film.
Every scene.
And none of it lines up with anything. It's just, hey, there's 2 guys walking on the beach. So how was your day? It's going pretty good, except for the crime scene. What? And then cut to 2 more guys fighting in a graveyard. Scene.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to process. Scene.
Whatever it's doing, it sets 2 guys up as being like the guys. These are supposedly protagonists, I think.
Scene.
And then there was a whore.
Scene.
And then there's Piggy Ming,
Piggy Ming is the bad guy's name.
but he dies like halfway through.
And the 2 other guys' names are Kenneth and Alan.
They don't make
Yeah.
it either, but the movie keeps going.
Right.
And you're like, wait a second, what is this shit about?
Yeah, I don't even fucking have a clue what this movie was really about. Crime, I guess. Super gang.
There
with
seemed
kung
like there was
fu.
more. I guess there were more than one gang, and
I
you
don't
really
really
couldn't tell
know.
who was in the gang by
Yeah.
the end of it.
And there's some really bad photography in this film too. Really, really bad shots. There's at one point there's a silhouette of a woman giving a man a back rub, and it seriously looked like she's just butt fucking him.
Oh yeah.
Boy.
Even if she was giving him, it's like that's not it. If these are the massages that happen in the East, I'm not going to the Asian parlor for a massage.
Yeah. Oh man, this thing is a real turd.
Oh, yeah.
A normal. I just came out of the movie theater during the summer, and I like film. I'm gonna go see a shitty kung fu movie. They're gonna give this thing a 2, at best.
Yeah, not good. I'm going to give it a don't.
You're gonna give it a don't.
Even only well, you didn't
Yeah, she
miss
didn't finish it.
anything because it's just kicking people in the face after you left.
Sam, I'm gonna give it a weird do. It's a weird do.
It's a weird do. I was gonna give it just a do.
Yeah,
Like it's so, and I think that there's 2 versions on Amazon. We watched the
there
first one
is
that
2
came out.
versions. Yeah,
One's a minute longer, so I
12
can't imagine it being much different.
I did read that there was 12 minutes cut of this film for the U.S. release.
Yeah,
But it was only sex scenes, really. Some more.
and some heads and some tails that they really needed.
Yeah, but not really anything plot relevant. I don't think it would have cleared anything up for us.
Is there a plot?
Yeah, right.
When you're watching it, what it seems like is they just found a movie and decided to overdub it without knowing what the dialogue was.
Pretty much.
And that's why I'm giving it a do, because it's just so fucking ridiculous how badly what's happening on screen and the Hong Kong British dub are just light years apart. More than I've seen apart in any British dub of a Hong Kong movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to give it a do, but only if you like weird movies. Don't come for the kung fu, because the kung fu's not good.
Quite bad. They shoot at the wrong angles. Nobody's fists are touching faces. It's bad.
Yeah, but come for the weirdness. There's your episode, kids. Next up is Sam's pick, and I'm afraid I know what it is.
Robin's Racing.
No.
You're no particular friend of mine.
No.
Back to Bruckheimer, but it's a Don Simpson. Days of Thunder.
Yeah! I've never seen this. I'm super stoked.
God,
And
it's
this is
so
our
boring.
this is our first
Tom Cruise's.
Tom Cruise's.
God,
Everyone would
have.
have thought it would have been Top Gun, but
For
it's
3
not.
years, he was banned from the podcast, and now he's here. It sucks. Okay, so we'll try to track down a location for that and talk about it next week. Come back to us and get to the chopper.
Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter at Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening, and get to the chopper.